Hey, Melissa Cotton here from MU Extension. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about produce storage. So, as many of us are trying to go to the grocery store less and perhaps buying a little bit more fresh produce at one time than normal, it's very important that we think about ways that we can get those fresh fruits and vegetables to last as long as possible. We want to cut down on food waste because we know when we're throwing food out, we're essentially throwing money away. So to try to prevent that, we want to think about how we are storing our fresh fruits and vegetables because this can have a big impact on their shelf life. So let's first talk about some of the different fruits and the way we store them. A lot of fruit, things like apples and citrus, those can be stored in your refrigerator, in the crisper. If you want to keep them, and if you buy them in bulk and they come in a bag and you want to keep those in the bag, that can be a good idea to help keep them separated. But storing those in the fridge is going to extend their shelf life from about a week to up to 3 months. So making that little switch can have a big impact. Things like berries, cherries, grapes, those you would want to store also in your refrigerator, either in the package that they come in, like the little plastic container or a plastic bag of some sort, in your refrigerator. And you want to leave those unwashed until you're ready to use them, because by washing them ahead of time, all of them, actually that makes them go bad quicker. So just store them in your refrigerator and then wash them as needed before you eat them or prepare them. Okay, so also other things like bananas. So I have some bananas up here. Those typically you want to store at room temperature until they are ripe. And then you have an option. You can store them in the refrigerator. The outer skin is going to turn dark brown or black, but the inside is still fine to eat. Or you can leave them out like in a basket, or if you have a banana hanger, or just in a bowl or something on the counter. And then as they age, as they get, if you haven't eaten them and they're getting really ripe, then you can just kind of chop them up, put them in a bag or a Tupperware container and put those in your freezer and use them in things like smoothies, or if you want to make banana bread or something like that, that can help you not have to throw those items away. Avocados are similar. We want to keep those at room temperature until they're ripe, and then you can store them in the refrigerator and they're going to last longer too. So those are some good things to do. Now we see my potatoes here in the corner of my eye. Potatoes are a little tricky, so we want to keep those in a cool, dark place, and we want to avoid storing them with onions and with garlic, because for whatever reason, if you keep your onions and garlic with your potatoes, that's going to make those items age quicker. So keep your potatoes by themselves. I have them separated here in this little shelf, but if you just want to keep them in the bag that you buy them in or in another bowl separate, that's great too. And I keep this in an area where it's not getting in a lot of sunlight, but you can also store potatoes like in the pantry or in the cellars, just someplace cool and dark. Same with the onions and the garlic, the dark, cool area. Tomatoes, we want to keep at room temperature. It's not a great idea to store those in the refrigerator, so keep them at room temperature and try to avoid a lot of heat or sunlight hitting those. Most vegetables you can store in a plastic bag in your refrigerator. So, sometimes you buy them already in a plastic bag. That works great. Just keep them in that. Or you as you select them at the store, you put them in a plastic bag. Just keep them in there. And so part of the reason for that plastic barrier is because a lot of fruits and vegetables, they give off a gas. And so as they age, that gas is released and the items around it may ripen sooner or go bad quicker because of that. So that's what we're trying to avoid, and that creates a little bit of a barrier in there. So, and then lastly, our leafy greens, our lettuce, we can store in the refrigerator as well. If they have a lot of moisture in the bag, it's a good idea to take a paper towel and place that in the bag. That paper towel is going to absorb that extra moisture and help that item stay fresh for longer. I also wanted to talk a little bit about going to the grocery store right now and washing your produce and things like that. So according to the CDC, our risk of COVID-19 is low at the grocery store, but there are some extra steps that we can take to protect ourselves. So as you enter the grocery store, it's a good idea to use a wipe or sanitizer to clean your hands. And as you're shopping, really trying hard not to touch things unnecessarily. So not, picking up the produce and putting it up and down. Just get what you need, and try not to touch a lot of things while you're in there. Also avoiding, of course, touching your face as well. As you're leaving the store, you want to go ahead and sanitize those hands again. And then when you get home, washing them for the 20 seconds with warm water and soap is recommended as well. And then definitely, as always, but definitely right now too, we want to wash our produce. Okay, so we recommend just washing that with some cold water, running water. For items that are more firm, you could use a brush and kind of scrub under the water too. We don't recommend using soap on the food that you're eating, but definitely making sure that you're washing those fruits and vegetables. Even things like bananas or citrus. We don't eat the outside, so we don't think that we have to wash it sometimes. But actually, when you think about it, if I'm eating a banana, right, I'm holding the outside and then I'm peeling it and taking the inside out and eating that. Well, if we haven't washed the outside, the same fingers that touch this skin are going to touch the part that you're eating too. So we also want to wash these things, melons that maybe we're not eating the outside, but we are eating the inside. We want to wash those as well. So that can help keep us safe and healthy. And we want to remember to do that all times to keep our produce clean. So that's it for today. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you might have. My name's Melissa. I'm with MU Extension, and I'll see you soon.